Hey guys, been a long time, ain't it? Well, what prompted this video was the new stuff coming out, iOS 7 and the new iPhones. And I think they're wonderful. You know, I'm sure you didn't expect any less from me, but you knew I was going to say that. But I think they really are. I think the fingerprint reader is going to be amazing to be able to make purchases without having to use my damn password. Thank you, Apple. Because I got a long fucking password. And that shit gets tiresome. I'm sorry. I know you can turn it off, but I got kids around and stuff. I can't do that. They'll spend $3,000 on me or something, and I'd be in the newspaper try to get a refund from Apple. And they wouldn't give it to me, probably, because it was my dumb ass that let the kid have the thing in the first place. I think iOS 7 is a great change for Apple. I'm glad they've changed it. It's not that I didn't like the old design. I love the old design. But I'm glad to see them changing it up and making it different and, you know, trying to keep up with the times and not be, you know, the same old for years and years and years, Windows. But I think it's a move in the right direction. I like the flat design. I like the way they went with it. I love the new features it has. I love that the new iPhone 5 is 64-bit, 5S. Now, granted, it might not give us a big benefit right now. We'll see a little bit of benefit from it, a little bit, as they showed at the keynote with Infinity Blade 3. Well, there'll be a little bit of improvement because of it, maybe, but more so later when the apps start taking advantage of it. And that's great that Apple's the first to do this, because it will push developers to make 64-bit apps, and that will get the 64-bit revolution started. So you can basically say that's what Apple has done. Now, of course, all the Android phones will be jumping to go 64-bit, but you won't see an 64-bit Android before 2014. So Apple's way ahead of the game there. They're doing an awesome job in that category. Along with the M7 chip, I think it's a great leap forward in performance and another step towards people really taking a mobile device seriously for content creation. That's where we're headed. In years in the future, we will be creating our content on these mobile devices without these big bulky machines. I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, but in my opinion, there is going to be a shift once mobile technology gets powerful enough. And it will happen. I mean, technology will get better and more powerful. And once it crosses that barrier of being able to create real content, then it's the beginning of the end for the desktop. Of course, there'll always be a place for a desktop. I'm not saying that, but I think you get what I'm saying. And people keep screaming about, we want a bigger screen, we want a bigger screen, but to me, that's superficial. Everybody wants a bigger screen. That's relative. I've talked to several people that say they don't want a bigger screen. As many people as I have heard say they do. I like to be able to access all four corners of a device with my thumb. I don't want to have to use two hands. No, I don't have ape hands. You know, a 6-inch screen, it's tough for me. The iPhone, my iPhone, is perfect. I can reach across all area of the screen with my thumb, one-handed. And that to me means a lot. I mean, I can see how people would want a bigger screen. You know, some people would. I can get it. I don't mean, like I said on Twitter, I don't want a TV in my pocket. And other people are like, well, I don't want a TV in my pocket either, but a bigger screen would be nice. And, you know, for some people, a bigger screen would be nice. But on a mobile device, I think a bigger screen is overrated. Okay, until you're really getting into some serious content creation, a phone doesn't need to be 6 inches for my display. It just don't. That's why I have my iPad. You know, there's a barrier there. It's like they're trying to merge categories. What's the new word? Phablet? Fuck your phablet. I want my phone to be my phone and our tablet to be my tablet. And that's just the way I fucking like it. Like I said, everybody's different. You know, everybody has their own opinion about what they want. But I'm sure Apple has done plenty of market research, and they've decided that they don't want to. Apple could if they wanted to. They got the money and the resources to make an iPhone with a bigger screen, you know, but they have decided not to. And believe you me, if they thought making it a bigger screen would make them more money, they would put a bigger screen on an iPhone. Because that's what it's about. It's about making money. And you make money by giving people what they want. So it's not that Apple can't, they just don't want to, and I understand the reasons why they don't want to. If the time comes that they feel they need to, and the majority of their customers are screaming for it, I'm sure they will oblige. But as of right now, I think everybody is happy with what they have. And if it was much bigger, it would just be kind of bulky to me. To me. Maybe not to you, but to me. I just don't consider the screen size everything. I don't think that's what makes a revolutionary phone. Oh, there's a bigger screen on it this year. Yay! Apple has innovated once again. You know, bullshit. That's not innovation. 64-bit fingerprint technology on your mobile device, that's innovation. That's moving technology forward. Now that we have a 64-bit phone, developers will start writing 64-bit apps. See, Apple is pushing the industry forward into 64-bit era of mobile computing. So, if Apple if phones don't go 64-bit, developers will never write 64-bit apps, and it will never happen. So somebody has to say, fuck it, we'll do it, we'll go 64-bit, and then, you know, developers will start writing 64-bit apps, and now Android phones will have 64-bit phones by next year, and we can thank Apple when the 64-bit revolution has arrived, and everybody has a 64-bit phone. We can thank Apple for lighting that fire. Okay, so that to me is more revolutionary than a bigger screen. The 5C, that's great. I'm glad Apple has went into the foray of cheaper phone. It's not a lot cheaper. It's still expensive as fuck, you know, but we're talking about Apple here. You get what you pay for. They make good products. The colors are okay. You know, I'd like to see a few more or a few different colors. That's great. Somehow they've managed to put plastic on a phone, their cheaper phone, not their flagship phone, Samsung, but they've used plastic on their cheaper phone, and it still feels better made than the other plastic phones on the market. I don't know what it is about how Apple builds their products, but they feel really, really good in your hand. They feel like they are made extremely well. And a lot of the other cell phones are just, you can just tell, there's not much to them. So I think the 5C is a good thing. I do. I think a lot of people will have them. I think maybe a lot of younger people. I don't know. Don't really quote me on that because I could be talking out of my ass. But I'm thinking more, you know, younger people will want these. Maybe people that can't afford the 5S. I'd like to have the gold one. That's probably the one I'll get when I upgrade here. I'm going to let that newness die down and let the lines die down, and when everything's settled, I'll go upgrade. Then I might make a video on that too. Is there anything else? No, Android needs to step it up. You know, like I said again on Twitter, Apple updates all of its devices at the same time, every single one, whereas Android's updates on their devices are scattered as fuck. And you can blame Android, or you can blame the manufacturers of the phones. You can blame whoever you want. It's still a fucking problem that I don't know will ever get solved. Android, I mean, it's a good operating system. I'm not saying that, but I just think it's plagued with a lot of problems that Apple don't have, and I don't want to jump into the wild west. You know what I mean? I like my Apple product. I like the security, and I like the ease of use, and you know, I don't need to use Python on my phone. I don't know. If you're all wanting to do that, thank Apple for the 64-bit stuff. You're all getting closer and closer to desktop power on a mobile device, so we'll be there one day. Windows, Steve Ballmer's gone. You know, he's retiring. See you later. You've done so much for Microsoft. Thank you. Get the fuck out. Don't let the door hit you in the ass when you leave. I don't know who they'll get to replace him, but he will probably be a suit as well, a businessman, probably all about the money, and they'll fail, because if they put a CEO in there that's all about the bottom line, then they're going to fucking fail. I get that ultimately it's I get that ultimately it's about money, but if you get somebody in there that don't care about their product, that don't care about the people that buy their product, and they're just in it to make money, then they will fail. They need to get somebody with some passion, somebody that cares about what they're doing, cares about the technology. Someone like Steve Jobs, actually, you know, they got to do something. I mean, right now they're just running on market share, and they have market share because they dominated the market for so long. But it's going to change if they don't do something. I don't know what to tell them. I've been preaching it for years that Windows was dying, but nobody wanted to listen to me. Nobody wanted, oh, when Microsoft is awesome, Windows is awesome. I remember back in the Mac versus PC days, I was preaching to people how Windows sucked. And I mean, all I can say is I told you so, man. I mean, Windows 8, I guess it's alright. It's cool. It's a push forward. I see what they're trying to do. Thank you, Microsoft. You just can't execute, brother. You just don't know how to execute, I guess. I don't know what it is. There's no soul in your product, I guess. It's just soulless. It feels like a product. I don't know. I can't explain it. Anyways, that's it for me. Just want to touch base. It's been like fucking a year since I made a video, but I'm still here. I'm still around, and once in a while, you'll get one of these if you like to watch them. Hey, push play and see what happens. Oh, Mavericks. We didn't talk about Mavericks. We'll have to do that. People say Apple don't innovate, but think about what all they've done from iOS 7 to new iPhones, you know, the fingerprint 64-bit Mavericks, you know, the labor issues they've dealt with, the bringing jobs back to America. I said all this on Twitter too. Apple's done a lot that people ain't giving them credit for, and I think people need to open up their eyes. I've been preaching it for years. See you guys later.